There was another school I wanted to go to. It was in Hawaii. I didn't get in. I'm glad I didn't, because I think I would have like surfed every day and totally failed.
All right, just leaving the DMV after 2 hours of being there, and I had an appointment, but got my new driver's license. Happy days.
So that was a fun experience. Basically, after spending 2 hours and 5 minutes at the Oceanside DMV, I now have an official new driver's license. My driver's license expired back in December on my birthday, and I take that back. I drove illegally, nobody knows this, for 2 months without a real driver's license because they don't issue appointments here. Like, it took forever. Like, it's May 9th. I finally got a new driver's license. So anyway, long story short, 2 hours and 5 minutes later, I've got a new ID, which will be mailed to me in 2 to 4 weeks, which sucks because I'm getting on an airplane in 2 weeks to fly to Italy. So hopefully my passport is good enough.
All right, just out here in Vista, putting the bus away. I've been driving it for the last couple weeks, and it's going back in here. It's starting to rain out here, and just not a great car to drive in the rain. These windshield wipers getting rusty and don't work that well, so need a better car. Anyway, out here putting it away.
One of the things I've been thinking about is maybe some regrets that I've had in this life so far, and just some of the things that maybe I wished I'd done a little bit different or had gone maybe a different way. So when I went to school, I went to a school out in Utah, and it was because I could have cared less about school. Like, I got out of high school barely. When I got to the school that I went to, which is called UVU, so it's Utah Valley University, I still wasn't excited about school, but at least I got to pick the classes that I wanted to go to, right? I didn't have to take math, I didn't have to take the English class and history and all that kind of stuff that I didn't like back then. But I got to pick and choose the classes that I went to. So I went down this route of picking a whole bunch of different majors. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so I was all over the place, from computer science and graphic design and aviation for like a month. I thought I was going to be a pilot, but anyway. So I was all over the place, and eventually I decided that I wanted to go into construction management. That's the route I went. I got out of school. I actually did really well in college because I found something that I enjoyed. But it wasn't my passion in life. It's just I finally figured out what I liked in college, so I could study something that made me happy. I thought I wanted to go down this career, so I got a job. I got a really good job. It paid really well. I just felt like I needed to get this job. I needed to start making money. And back then I wasn't a big reader. I wasn't, checking out Gary Vee and Grant Cardone and all these, big time hustlers. I don't know. And so I think this week and, the last couple weeks, definitely the last few months, I've been thinking about, what are the things that I wish I could have done different? And I guess the simplest way of putting it was, I wish I would have not gone into a career path so soon.
All right, I'm out here in Vista, dropping off Mom's Mother's Day card. It's like the busiest time of the year, I think, to mail something, so hopefully it gets there by Sunday.
You don't go straight into like the 40-year career path. What I'd seen is my dad, who got out of school, went straight to work. And so I thought, okay, well, here's my dad. He did this, pick a job, stick with it forever, retire after 45 years, basically. And that was his thing. And I thought, this is what you're supposed to do. So my biggest regret is that I didn't have the opportunity. I chose to go straight into the career path instead of exploring life and instead of exploring options options. Had I gotten out of school and taken a sabbatical, call it a sabbatical, or just a vacation from life, right? Like, I'd been through kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, all the way through high school, just finished basically 5 years of college, and I went straight into work. I follow so many people on Instagram right now, and they go travel to parts of Asia, they go to South America, they go to Europe, they buy a van, they live on a boat, they travel out of a backpack. But I look at these guys who are 22 years old, you know, and they have the world in front of them, 70, 80 plus years in front of them, and they're just saying, I don't know what I want to do. And that's okay. You know, maybe you've realized from the time you were 5 that you wanted to be a firefighter, or you wanted to be a dentist or an attorney or whatever it was that you decided, and that's the way you want to go, great. But for me, what I realized is I thought I wanted to go this route and I thought it made sense, but I didn't take a moment to just step back and think about my own feelings for a moment. Think about what else in the world is available to you. The world is so small when you're 20 years old. And you know, you look around and you see a dozen, 50, maybe even 100 different people doing something, right? They got out of school, they took a job, they studied for some massive test, and they went and they got their degree and they mastered it, and then they went into school and they worked for 40 years, like my dad. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think you might need to take a step back and just explore some other options in life, right? Like, I lived in California my whole life. Growing up, I moved to Utah, went to college there. That was it. Those are the 2 states that I lived in. I didn't know about Europe. I'd never been to Europe in my life before that. I'd never lived on the East Coast. I didn't know what South America was like. I didn't know what all these other places were like. So, and what if I would have taken the next 6 months and just said, you know what? I'm gonna go travel. I'm gonna go find myself and realize who I am. You know, maybe I brought my wife with me at the time. We were just engaged. We got engaged later, but we got married about a year later. Maybe I brought her, maybe, you know, I don't know where that would have gone if I didn't bring her. How about that? But I would have traveled and I would have been able to see some other things and I would have been able to explore. I wasn't till last year. I was 38 years old by the first time I actually ever left the United States continent. Like, I've been to Canada and I've been to Mexico. I don't think that really counts because I'm like within 100 miles still of the border. But I really got the chance to explore some other places and see some other way of living. And this video is all about regret, right? And I think that goes back to my regret. My regret is that I kept myself in this little bubble and I didn't explore outside of it. You know, what if I would have moved to the East Coast for a year? Or what if I would have moved to Italy for a year? Or lived in Japan? I don't know. Like, there's so many places out there that you need to see and explore. And I'll put it this way too. If you live in the Midwest and you've never seen the ocean, you know what I'm talking about. You've never gotten out of Dodge, as they say. The job will always be there. But let me go find something to do, right? Vlogging wasn't a thing back then, but what if I would have just taken a little point and shoot camera and recorded my journey? What if I would have, you know, gotten into photography or writing or something else? I just wish I would have taken the moment to say, I don't have to go down this career path right now. I don't have to choose my destiny. Take a side cut for a moment, take a pause in my life, and just go live. Don't think that the job's not there. Don't think that you've got to go take that job at 22 and 24 and 30 years old. Go travel, go see things before you have kids and commitments and mortgage payments and a life that you have to pay for. When you're young and free and debt free and the world is your opportunity, go spend some time to really figure out what it is that you want in life, who you are, what makes you happy. I've been talking a lot about that lately. I am super happy with my life right now. I love where things are going. I love the things that I'm passionate about, excited about, chasing, building, creating. But I want you to find that happiness too. Don't feel pressured to go into a job. Just because you have that degree and it's hanging on the wall and it's the thing that's allowing you to go make money, don't feel like you have to do that right now. Guys, take it from me, life is super short. Someday you'll wake up and be 85 years old. You'll be in a bed where you can barely move. And you'll have that big, let me just pull this up, a sheet, a bucket list that maybe you've only checked off a few items on there. My friends, don't have regret when you get to that age. Don't regret a single moment of your life. You only live once. This is the life to enjoy, to learn, to respect your body, to be grateful, to be humble, to really understand who you are and what you're capable of. Don't sell yourself short.